Hi and welcome to TOTECS. In the 18.1 TOTECS e-commerce platform release, two new improvements have been added to the Administration Center's Project Traffic Statistics interface that allows administrator users to see the website server traffic across an entire project for a single day, broken up on a per hour basis. Additionally, there is now the ability to find IP addresses of where the server traffic originated, as well as which users have been generating traffic. These new capabilities allow a business to further understand how much website traffic is being generated for the project, by whom, and directly from where. These insights can help decision makers to further target and block the traffic hitting their particular websites, or craft content that targets these website visitations better. To see how this works, if we go into the Administration Center of a project hosted on the platform, and we click on the Statistics navigation menu button, and then click on the Project Traffic Statistics menu item. Within the Project Traffic Statistics interface, if we scroll down to under the monthly project traffic, there is additional new filters that have been added that allow us to search and not just see the overall counts of traffic that have occurred for each day of the month. Now we can choose a particular day that we want to dig in the traffic data for. So in our example, we could go here to the 8th of May just by selecting that particular day and click the refresh button. And now the graph will update to show you the total counts of traffic that have occurred for each different hour of the selected day. So as we can see here on the 8th of May, we had more traffic that occurred between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. and then we had spikes at 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock p.m. So just from this data alone, we are having increased visitation during these particular two parts of the day. And that may be relevant if our users who are ordering off our website are choosing to start ordering at the start of the day as well as the end of the day. These statistics alone could help us craft content to directly target users if they're visiting our websites during particular times. Now, and also note that these times could be also used by search engines and crawlers in order to crawl the website. When we filter down to a specific day, all the other graphs that display underneath here, the search engines, crawlers, and software will also tell us how much of the crawlers have been crawling over this single day. So in this example, we have ChatGPT, which is making 1,385 requests to our server on the 8th of May. So they can give us some insights onto who's requesting data from our website, and we could then further filter if we wanted to then break it down by the crawler. So in the search filter here, if I select the search engine crawler and click the refresh button, and once the search updates, we can now see ChatGPT in particular was crawling between 8 a.m. and 7. So it gives us some further insight. The traffic generated at 8 a.m. is by a crawler, in this case an AI bot, as it periodically goes through our website and it obtains content for its own search tools. And we can do a similar story if we wanted to filter by user. All we'd need to know is their login ID in order to filter by, to see when they're making requests across websites on our project. Now, the other features that we've got available, we can view the requests, where these requests are originating based on the IP address, that is the public internet address of where this traffic is originating from. So if we click on the view most requests by IP address, it will now show us the public IP addresses that ChatGPT used. In this case, the majority of the requests came from a single IP address and only one came from another. If we click on the find geographic location, that will take us to a third-party website that can show us exactly where that traffic originated from. So in this case, this came from a Microsoft-based data center in the United States, specifically within Atlanta, Georgia. And this information may be helpful to see where the traffic is coming from across the world. And then that can also determine if we should put in some blocks in place if we're seeing too much traffic come from undesirable countries, or we may want to craft content on our website that target the origins of this traffic. Now, if we click the most requests by user, we can see ChatGPT is logging as a guest user. So they made 1,300 requests as a guest user, since ChatGPT is not going to be able to log into a website unless a person is able to command them to do so. And 3 requests are null, and that just means there was no session created before those requests were made. Whereas the user already had a session created. In this case, it was a guest session. They weren't logged in, and we can see that they made 362 requests. So if we change the filter here from being just a single particular day back to the whole month, and now that we're filtering back to see traffic across the entire month, if we click the view most requests by IP address, it will now show us the total amount of requests per IP address across the entire month, not just for a single day now. There's a lot more traffic that was generated across the month from different IP addresses, and then we can drill into each one and work out the countries and if that traffic is relevant. And it's a similar story for the view most requests by user. We'll click that button. It will then show us all the users that have accessed the website across the entire month. So as we can see here, most users are coming from our guests and they haven't been created with any session. And then we've got only just a few users here that were accessing the website. So this would suggest the website was mostly just a public facing website website or an informational based website. Whereas if you've got a lot of online ordering, there'd be a long list of users here, and then you could see how many requests the users are typically making across a given month. And if you see some very high numbers, then that would indicate that those users may be using scraper software in order to extract data out of the website as opposed to just browsing and ordering online. So these two buttons, the view most requests by IP address and view most requests by user, they will always show the information based on the search that is currently happening in the search filters above. So if we're searching for the whole month, they're going to show IP addresses and users who made requests across the entire month. If we're searching just for a day, then these buttons will only show IP addresses and users for a single day. So those are the new capabilities that we have, filtering down and breaking our traffic down to a single day and looking at hourly data, as well as viewing the public IP addresses where traffic is originating from. And note that that traffic may immediately originate from a certain country, but it may be routed through another country to mask the true location of where those requests are being made. So it can't always provide the most accurate data of where the traffic originated from, especially if VPNs are being used, other technology, in order to mask the user's true geographic location. But in most cases, it can provide a pretty good indicator for us to work with. If you have any more questions about this functionality and any of the other functionality released in the TOTECS 18.1 platform release, go to the TOTECS.au website, click on the resources menu item, and then click on the forums menu button. Under the TOTECS e-commerce platform section, if we click on the releases forum and then go down to TOTECS platform release 18.1, you can read all the details about this feature and all the other improvements and new features we've added in this particular release. If you've got any other questions or comments, feel free to comment on the forums or contact our service team with any of your questions. Until next time, have a good day.